Iran has been the promoter of terrorism in countless theatres for decades now. Now that's not an excuse for what you've seen, but it is an explanation.
And as a member of the Five Eyes, was New Zealand given any heads up about this?
No, we weren't, but we still took the precaution of warning our citizens in the Middle East to be wary in case it should happen.
And do you feel like this is the start of a wider regional conflict in the Middle East? I mean, how significant is this?
Well, given the number of Middle Eastern countries Iraq has attacked who seem to be totally innocent in this matter, you could think that, but perhaps not.
Have we spoken to our US partners or our Gulf partners following these attacks?
No, we haven't.
It's quite significant that Dubai, for example, has been struck. What does that tell you about how significant this is?
Well, they struck a serious civilian, one of the biggest civilian airports in the world. So innocent people immediately put at risk. But that is Iran's record.
What are our plans moving forward if escalation worsens?
Well, again, it's premature to come to any conclusion now. Let's see what we're dealing with. We're doing our best to talk to our international partners and other collaborators all around the world. We're going to South America. They've got a serious interest in this because, people forget that the biggest terrorist attack ever in Argentina was created by the Iranian regime.
Has this affected your itinerary for the trip at all?
No.
What about Kiwis living in Iran? Do we know roughly how many and what's your advice?
Oh, look, the thing is fluctuating. You recall we put a plane up there not so long ago when we had 134 registered. The plane got there, peace broke out, so the whole thing was a, mission that didn't work because it didn't have to work. So better be safe than sorry. We think that at the moment there's about 34 to 38. There are many more than that, of course. And in the Emirates is at least 6,000, of which about 600 are registered. So it's very complex.
And so will you be thinking about a plan for repatriation flights if it comes to that?
Well, we're thinking about it now if it comes to that, yes.
Minister, you spoke Friday about the potential for the local regime to retaliate against overseas citizens. How real do you see that issue being?
So which regime are you talking about?
The Iranian regime.
Oh, well, that has been terribly real. The record of their two leaders since 1979 has been exactly that. State-sponsored, proxy-led terrorism.
What do you make of how the US now has stepped in and removed two world leaders?
Well, again, we're not making comments on that. There will be all sorts of people who want to pontificate. But as I said, I'm not giving any excuses. But there is an explanation that sooner or later, on the question of the rule of law, to make it work just like in our streets in New Zealand, it has to be enforced.
Will you be coordinating with countries like Australia and the EU for a response?
Well, we always have.
I know it's still early days, but have you had any advice from officials about how this might affect oil prices and the economy in New Zealand?
Well, I don't have to go to officials for that sort of advice. I go to the market. They'd know better. Sorry about that, guys, but the market does know better than a lot of officials.
Have any of your
on questions like cost.
Have any of your Pacific partners reached out, or have you reached out to them?
Not at the moment, but usually when we're off doing this, every now and again there's a Pacific person who turns up, like for example at New Caledonia when we ended up with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds from 20 different countries who we got out. So we'll do our best we can, but we are a long, long way from this conflict, way out in the Southwest Pacific. Let's not get us too rushed in trying to be involved here.
What support can New Zealanders in Israel and Iran expect if airport borders are shut?
Say again?
What support can New Zealanders overseas expect when borders are shut?
Well, the difficulty is, if you were to answer that question now, it would demonstrate you don't understand the aviation situation in the Middle East. A lot of the plane flights are cancelled. So we haven't got an answer at the moment, no. And we're not going to put a plane up there and risk it ourselves at this point in time, no. All right?
Has the United States reached out for any kind of support from New Zealand, like a statement of support in what they've done?
No.
Can you just finish off with just a direct message to theories who are listening to you right now in Iran and in the Gulf?
Well, look, it'll be very difficult in the risky cities, but if you're out in the countryside and you can get away, give it a go. Otherwise, try and stay safe, stay inside, and we'll see how things develop. But it's very, very difficult for us this far away from personal circumstances to tell people what to do. Mind you, we've been telling them for weeks to get ready, just in case this happened. Maybe next time listen to the government of New Zealand, who does care what the